Before we start the video, I want you to subscribe to the best Telegram channel at the first link in the description, where we show our earnings on cryptocurrencies, and not only. Our capital that we manage is more than $3 million. Thanks for subscribing. Also in the description is a links to verified exchangers, when you register on which you get a welcome bonus from me. Let's get to the video. Friends, Bitcoin is back at 17,000, thanks to the head of furs. But this price also includes the events I'm about to tell you about. You'll find out what else Sam has come up with about Ukraine's new digital currency, as well as what will happen to the cryptocurrency market after yesterday's speech from the head, Jerome Powell. Let's start with our almost constant column on what's new Sam. He recently gave another interview in which he twisted what he had previously said, and also revealed some interesting new details regarding his machinations. As it became known, after the withdrawal of funds from FTX exchange was stopped, Sam gave an opportunity to take his crypto to the Bahamas residence. It was previously reported that this was done at the request of Bahamian regulators, but as it turns out though, they had nothing to do with it, and the decision was made by Sam himself. He explained that he simply asked the local authorities about it, but they didn't answer him. Accordingly, Sam assumed that silence was a sign of agreement. I suspect, in fact, that it was to protect himself from his greatest threat, the rabid customers who are around and hungry for payback. It's worth noting, though, that the exchange has given many jobs to the people of these islands, as well as pulled up the economic situation by its presence. Moreover, it has already begun to promise the restoration of withdrawals from the exchange FTXs, that is, for Americans. And users from other countries have to wait for the completion of bankruptcy proceedings. Recall that customers of the collapsed exchange McGox waiting for this since 2014, and the exchange FTXs is also on the list of bankrupts. And also in his interview, Sam admitted that he donated money to two different political parties, equally. The media circulated information about his substantial donations to the Democrats, but as Sam said, he was also darkly donating to the Republicans, trying not to attract too much attention. What were his goals? It's not clear exactly, but it is definitely not worth believing him, especially after the ridiculous excuse that he didn't use workarounds to steal clients' money, because he simply can't program and doesn't understand the code of his own exchange. Meanwhile, Sam has already been taken up by Texas regulators and officially called for a hearing to be held on February 2. But, as it turns out, Sam may not be physically present in court, but rather may make his acquittal via a Zoom conference. After all, the whole story around the collapse of the FTX exchange really appealed to Amazon. And now, on its basis, we'll make a mini-series, and the directors of this series will be the Russo brothers, who shot the famous Avengers. The story of FTX will be a lesson for many. And now, exchanges will be open to customers to prove their reliability, and will offer favorable trading conditions and special promotions to attract users. Despite the full-scale war in the country, Ukraine continues to try to keep the brand of one of the most cryptocurrency countries. The National Bank presented a draft concept of electronic hryvnia to the participants of the payment market. According to the regulator, its key purpose is to effectively perform all the functions of money, supplementing the cash and non-cash form of the national currency. Such uses as retail payments, circulation of virtual assets, and cross-border transfers are considered. Envo sees advantages in this, such as lower costs of administration and control of the intended use of funds, automation of settlements with the help of smart contracts, and transparency and high speed of international payments. I should remind you that national digital currencies are an interesting technology, but it is also in full control over your finances. The Ukrainian electronic hryvnia, like the digital Chinese yuan, has a programming function. That is, the regulator can set how you can spend this money. And if it says to buy bread, you can no longer pay for milk. This is a crude example, but there are other dangers in the programming function. For example, the money has to be spent in 30 days, otherwise it will simply disappear. So, a lot will depend on the authorities of the country who will implement such digital money. Because, in the wrong hands, it can be a very big problem. But still, countries are slowly beginning to understand the benefits of blockchain technology. And some have even decided to steer it in the right direction. Instead of fighting crypto, you can use it to your advantage. The Australian authorities are already thinking about it, as their technical council recently commissioned a study on digital assets. The report was prepared by Tech Council, and it showed that the country can receive, in addition to its GDP, $40 billion a year. The adoption of the crypto world is also taking place in Brazil, because their deputies have already approved a law on the circulation of cryptocurrencies. Unfortunately, it does not imply the use of cryptocurrencies as a legal means of payment, as it was done in El Salvador last year. Still, it allows the use of digital assets as a means of payment. In addition, the law allows the creation of a license for a cryptocurrency exchange platform, as well as for third parties to store and manage such assets. Amid this news, Bitcoin even jumped slightly, almost reaching the $17,000 mark. But, still, it fixed at this level due to other reasons, which we will talk about in the next section. But before that, I recommend to subscribe to our Telegram channel, because there we are critical to all news and explain what really lurks behind the headlines. The link is in the description. Now for the best part, the Bitcoin price. As I noted at the beginning, the main reason for the current rise of Bitcoin is yesterday's speech of the head of FERS USA, Jerome Powell, in which he spoke about inflation and the labor market. In it, he said the most important thing everyone wanted to hear. The rate of increase of the discount rate in the USA may decrease as early as in December of this year. That is, the rate will still be raised, and more than once. But after those words, everybody's brains were already switched off, and we started dreaming about the growth of risky assets. Against this backdrop, the S&P 500 index jumped more than 3%, which is an impressive increase for stocks. Bitcoin did not show as much growth, though it could have potentially added 10 or 15% to its price. Nevertheless, it has clinched at the $17,000 mark, which we've seen for the first time since the FTX exchange collapsed. But what do analysts say? How might the cryptocurrency market behave in the near future? A fresh report from Glassnode tells us that the bottom is near. If we draw parallels to previous cycles, we have already suffered long enough to reach the lows. Another wake-up call about this is the capitulation of miners. Moreover, it is not at all about the consequences of Ethereum's move to POS. It is Bitcoin miners who surrender their positions, selling both their equipment and accumulated cryptocurrency. According to statistics, 13% of miners shut down their ASIC, which many optimists consider as another sign of reaching the bottom. But the crypto market bears see Bitcoin falling to the $6,500 mark, so it could be that what we've experienced is just flowers and we'll feel a really high level of depression yet. That's the prediction given by Dozen Trade founder Phil Fold, noting that this level, roughly double the bear market of 2018 and the lows of the fall in March 2020. A more positive outlook has former Goldman Sachs top manager, Raoul Pal. He says that the world still expects many positive trends in terms of the adoption of crypto, in which many benefits lurk. In addition, he says that we have already seen all the negative macroeconomic indicators that could have happened, and now we are expecting growth. He predicts that Bitcoin could very well reach a price of $200,000, and the market reversal could happen as early as March 2023. So, let's look forward to that moment. Subscribe to the channel and like this issue if you like it. Thanks for watching, your Cryptanic.